Bobby Scherer from S. Scherer & Sons in Northport, New York. We're an aquatic nursery. Today I'm going to talk to you about water gardening in containers. When using upright plants like this, sometimes the container that you're using is a little bit too deep. So what you can do is place, say, an overturned clay pot or a red brick in your container. Other things that can be used to raise the plants up, red brick works very well. You can even use cinder block. One thing with cinder block, if it's an old cinder block, it's better because the lime in the concrete sometimes leaches into the water, and that changes the pH, which doesn't really matter that much to the plants. But if you decide to put some fish in, which sometimes people will do in their small container, the lime from the cinder block is not that great for the fish. Most of these are actually made out of plastic. This is a glazed pottery. You can also use a container made out of metal. Galvanized steel is okay. One metal that you don't want to use is copper, and the reason being is copper, when it oxidizes with water, it is bad for the plants and also any fish that you may put in there. It releases a toxin. But otherwise, any type of material, even a nice ornamental cement pot. As you can see, a lot of these are nicely finished on the outside, and a lot of times when you have a container garden in the backyard, you do want to have something that looks nice on the outside, some type of design. This is a plastic whiskey barrel. Some people also use real whiskey barrels that have actually been used for wine or whiskey, and they can be used for tub gardens. However, you do want to line a real whiskey barrel that's been used with the wine or whiskey, because when you fill it with water, sometimes it will draw the toxins from the alcohol from the old wine or whiskey into the water, and that can be toxic to the plants. So that either has to be done with a rubber liner or even a heavy-duty plastic bag that can line the inside. You can see I have a lot of different containers here, all different sizes. They range anywhere. This one is about 12 inches in diameter to the larger ones about 2 feet in diameter. And when filled with water, they can be anywhere from about 15 gallons to maybe 50 gallons of water. And certain plants would do better in the larger containers. If you wanted to, say, have a water lily, this is a tropical water lily which is just starting to grow right now. You can see that it's grown in a pot. This might be a little bit too small for a small container, but in a larger water garden, it would go just fine. And this can actually sit on the bottom of the pond. If there's about 1.5 feet of water over the top of the pot, the leaves themselves, or the pads, will float up to the surface of the water, and your flowers will come up from there. This is a peel and stick tape that can be used to cover the hole in the bottom of your container. Basically, it just kind of peels, and then you adhere it over the actual hole on the bottom of the pot. And if the surface is clean and dry, it'll stick onto the bottom, and it works very well. You can also use silicone rubber to fill in the hole, which takes about 24 hours to dry. And as long as check it out, make sure that the pot holds water. Some people may worry about mosquitoes and having something like this in your backyard. Now, if you have a, say, small pump with a fountain running in there, the water's moving, it's generally not a problem. Mosquitoes usually like stagnant water, so moving the water with a small pump or circulating pump helps keep the mosquitoes at bay. Something that you can use if you don't have access to electricity to have a pump. These are Mosquito Dunks, which is a floating almost donut with a natural Bacillus thuringiensis, and these just float on the surface of the water. For a small container like this, they break very easily. You need about maybe a quarter of a piece, and it just floats around in there, and it kills any mosquito larvae or insect larvae.